Welcome to Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. And tonight, the Dean Dome will sparkle for the start of conference play. It's the ACC on ESPN as number 12 North Carolina will take on the Seminoles of Florida State. The ACC opener, and you have it right here on ESPN this evening. Dave O'Brien alongside the former Virginia star, Corey Alexander. Thanks so much for being with us. Happy holidays to you. This is also the land of Drake May. I want to get that in. He should be the MVP of the National Football League. That's a question we will delve into a little bit later. But this is fun because we're lifting the curtain on the ACC schedule tonight.
Well, your New England bias didn't come out at all in that. But when you consider the fact that the ACC gets started on its regular season today, a much improved ACC, Obi, and this is one of the reasons why the North Carolina Tar Heels have been stellar throughout the non-conference.
And a big reason for North Carolina is an outstanding front court. You've heard that before over the decades with North Carolina. Caleb Wilson is special, just a freshman, certainly doesn't look like one.
And this is a young man that plays well beyond his years. Caleb Wilson, Henry Bessard, these two, this combination in the front court for the Tar Heels may be the best front court combination in the country when you consider the fact that both these guys are great around the basket and also capable of knocking down the three. That's right, OB. Henry Bessard made 4 threes there last time out, a career high for him. These two guys are having fun playing together.
Well, people have been throwing out, as far as Bessard is concerned, the 7-footer Brady Manick. And he's even better than that. You mentioned defensively he's so good. We had a shot there of Rob McCray. Wears number 6 for Florida State. He is one of the top assist men in the country. The question is, can they make the shots that his passes lead to?
Because we know the Seminoles will shoot them. Second in Division I, 36.2 3-point field goal attempts per game.
Well, North Carolina, for only the 5th time in 35 years, wearing blue uniforms at home, calling it Happy Blue Year as we bear down on 2026. Great to have you with us tonight. Florida State winning the opening tip. They have struggled at times, just 7-6 coming into this big matchup with the Tar Heels. McCray with a leaner in traffic and makes it.
And that's not what you see a lot of from Florida State, is really attacking the basket, scoring points in the paint. But North Carolina wants to stay home on those three-point shooters. McCray does a great job getting to his mid-game.
Carolina off to their best start since 08-09, and that was a pretty darn good team. They won the national championship that year. Trying to get it downstairs, and no whistle. Bogovac hit the deck, but no foul there. The officials tonight, excellent crew. Roger Ayers, Lee Cassell, and Kip Kissinger will make the calls. And the jumper on the way is around and out by Somerville. Mark Somerville, who's their number 1 3-point guy at 41%.
Well, and this is where North Carolina is so dangerous. They're one of the top teams in the country defensive rebounding, but you put the basketball in Caleb Wilson's hand to initiate offense and has the ability to play off the bounce as well.
Bogovac's averaging 11 points a game on the dribble. He'll step back and launch a long one, but too strong. Rebound tap and controlled by Chauncey Wiggins, the former Clemson Tiger.
Yeah, Chauncey Wiggins, no stranger to playing in this building. So he is the one guy that Luke Ross can depend upon to provide some experience against the Tar Heels.
6'10" product, can't hit. He does like to shoot it, but he's only making 29% from three-point land. And you mentioned all of that rather extraordinary three-point shooting by Florida State in terms of the volume, but they don't make a ton of them. They're only making 31%. Downstairs for Bessard. They'll swing it up top. Bogovac open, got a really good look, couldn't connect.
Those are 2 wins for the Seminoles defensively. They're forcing other players, as Somerville's unable to get the 3 to go down, they're forcing other players outside of Caleb Wilson and Henry Bessard to score the basketball. They want to keep it out of the painted area, but it's difficult to do with this young man with the basketball in his hands.
The swing for Seth Trimble, getting back into the lineup in the last game after breaking his arm, a bone in his arm against Kansas in early November. Getting him back, although misfires here, that's going to be huge for North Carolina.
The Tar Heels 3 of their 4 field goal attempts are from beyond the arc, and Seth Trimble's going to pick up a foul on the defensive end as McCray, the 5th, tries to attack off the bounce. Takes McCray a little time to get up.
An excellent start for Hubert Davis at 12-1. The only loss came to Michigan State in November. They lost that one by 16 points. Back to the foul.
OB, the Seminoles want to play fast. And Robert McCray, the fifth, he's the guy that makes them go. Wants to get out in transition, especially off of North Carolina misses, and see if they can get easy ones in transition.
It's going to be tipped out of play by the Seminoles off the hand of Leger Jones, the 6'7" senior. Luke Laux, in his first year as the head coach for the Seminoles, who replaced Leonard Hamilton, who retired after 23 years at Florida State. Leonard coached him 13 years ago when they won the ACC tournament, and they beat North Carolina in the championship game.
And Luke Laux still holds the ACC tournament record, 13 assists in that championship game, as Seth Trimble picks up assists, finding Kyan Evans for the three.
Steen on the run out. That's going to be deflected out. Maybe North Carolina basketball. Tar Heels finally on the board. That's Alex Steen, the 6'9" senior, racing up the floor. Gives the Seminoles some size. Losses to Florida, Texas A&M, Georgia, Houston, and Dayton. They lost to Dayton by 28, the Seminoles did, and Georgia by 34.
And amazingly, only lost at Florida by 2. But Luke Laux made it very clear to us that their offense often determines their effort. And this is a team that has to continue to play hard regardless as to whether shots are going down or not.
Shot clock winding down. Wilson launches a strong one off the backboard. And Jones will handle the rebound. Florida State totally rebuilt. 9 new players from a season ago. Not to mention the legendary head coach replaced as well. Somerville trying to weave his way inside. Couldn't lay it in. Wilson hitting the deck. That's going to be a blocking foul against the Seminoles here with 16:09 to go in the first half. That's on Martin Somerville. The sophomore picks up number 1.
But OB, right now, if you're Luke Laux, you're happy with your defense, even though you're down 1. North Carolina, 5 of their 6 field goal attempts have been from 3. And one of the things that he wants to make sure that happens is you keep the basketball out of the painted area, away from Caleb Wilson, away from Henry Bassar, especially at the rim.
North Carolina has not been great from three-point land for the season so far, 34%, but Hubert thinks they are going to shoot it. Trimble slashing inside, and he's denied. Seminoles are playing some lockdown defense early. Jones will pull up and pop. Can't hit it off the back iron. McCray zips the pass right back to him on the baseline. Stevenson trying to deny him. And they push it back outside for McCray. 7 assists per game for the senior from Columbia, South Carolina. Jones again. And that one goes down. He banked that one again.
Yeah, and that's a tough angle to bank a 3 from. Almost in the dead corner, still able to go off glass.
Jones hit a school record 10 3-pointers, tied the school record against Georgia Southern. I think you can see why if he does get going. Wilson trying to get rolling off the iron. It's going to be tipped out of play and stay right here. 15-12 to go. We're in the first half of play, and it's a happy new year in the ACC. A lot of people believe a big year coming in the conference. We'll check out the state of the Atlantic Coast Conference coming into play here tonight. 4 teams are ranked in the top 25. Keep your eye on that Virginia team as well. But Duke, North Carolina, and Louisville. Look at the stars here. Boozer, Wilson, and Brown, the freshmen this season. Look at the non-conference start. 3rd best in the country, 76% winning percentage.
But when you look at the teams that are 500 or below, there are no teams below 500 in the ACC in comparison to 4 last season. And more importantly, the top 25 wins, 10 this year. That allows the ACC to have higher quality games during conference play. Instead of those being quad 3, quad 4 wins, now they can become quad 1, quad 2. And those are the things that get you into the NCAA tournament in March.
Batted out of play by McCray, playing some defense as well. He's averaging 14.7 assists per game.
We watched Florida State and shoot-around talk about when that ball's in the air, don't lay back and allow players to catch it. Contest each and every pass. See if you can get deflections to try to throw North Carolina out of their offensive rhythm.
Derek Dixon, talented freshman out of the state of Virginia. The guy can really stick the 3. Shot clock down to 5. Stevenson misfires. The follow won't go. Trimble getting involved. Obviously very healthy, feeling strong. You talked to him after the shoot-around today. He promised you he would dunk one.
He promised it, and I have witnesses. He said it in front of you, of course, in front of Matt Barley, our producer, Michael Griffin, our director. So I told him, I've got witnesses. He said, I'm giving you my word. You'll see something tonight.
Senior co-captain at 17-8 in that Kansas game in which he got hurt. Shot clock again down to 5. Seminoles really playing some sticky defense here early on. Down to 1 now. Dixon has to launch a long one, and it barely got up there and deflected out of play.
Luke Louch mixing up his defenses. He told us earlier today he's not much of a zone guy, but he would throw some zone into the action today, not because they haven't played much of it. He doesn't feel as though North Carolina will be prepared for it. And right now, Carolina only 1 of 11 from the field.
North Carolina averaging 81 points a game, 48% from the field, but Hubert Davis said they've not shot it well. They will shoot it down. A slam down the lane goes McCray.
So what happened on that play, Obi? They got the switch. Now, with watching North Carolina shoot around earlier today, I'm not sure if Bessar is supposed to be switching on the guards. I think it's 1 through 4 switches, not 1 through 5. McCray was able to take advantage of the 5 switching on him on the last possession.
North Carolina, first 6 minutes looking like they're asleep. Offensively, certainly. Swing for the corner. Trimble will drop it, goes up strong, and he'll draw the foul. That was with 4.6 on the shot clock.
You see McCray attacking, but he's got an opportunity to play against a 5-man. And although Bessar is a very good defender, the majority of his work happens at the rim. Having to guard a point guard on the perimeter is tough to ask the big fella to be able to step out there and guard. And McCray able to get his shoulders past, and maybe a highlight that we'll see later tonight.
Just might. Robert McCray, the senior, one of 9 children. There's Trimble at the line. They'll drop in number 1. And McCray's had an excellent start to his season. Transfer from Jacksonville. He had a 36-point game against Stetson while at Jacksonville, so he can really sizzle.
And he's back in the ACC. Started his career at Wake Forest, went to Jacksonville after his freshman year, so told us he's grown a lot. Jacksonville made him a much better basketball player and person, and he's really looking forward to getting back on this ACC court.
He's been a great passer. He can also score it, obviously, and I asked him today, which do you prefer? Do you consider yourself a facilitator or a scorer? He said, whatever it takes.
And he's got that same matchup once again. Unable to get it to go, but offensive rebounding, and this is another area where the Seminoles excel. Over 14 offensive rebounds per game, but that one ends up being a turnover for McCray.
So North Carolina with the basketball. They are 9-0 here at Chapel Hill this season. But a choppy start here tonight. 13:23 to go in the first half.
Also an 8-day break between games for the Tar Heels, where they, of course, went to Atlanta, had a strong performance against Ohio State. Bessar with the game winner there, and then came back here and made 12 threes against East Carolina. So I'm sure Hubert Davis didn't necessarily want to see that break coming when his team was playing so well during the stretch.
No, we came on here talking about how good the front court has been. The line driver won't fall. Powell coming off the bench. A battle for a rebound. It's up and in. And a chance for a 3-point play. Wilson coming in at 20 points, 11 rebounds a game. He's been sensational on the glass.
And this is where he excels, showing off his athleticism, his ability to play through contact, scoring in the painted area off the offensive rebound. Opportunity for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, OB.
Thomas Bissong, the freshman from Paris, with the foul. Wilson 69% at the line. And the 3-point play to make it 8-7. Talk about 20-point games by freshmen. What a great class. Legends at North Carolina, and he is among them.
He is among them, and again, he's still got 18 conference games to play. So we could see that number rise throughout this season.
McGee almost lost the dribble. Shot clock to 7. Wiggins trying to get in the paint for a turnaround and can't hit it. Wilson to the corner. Powell, yes. Jonathan Powell burying triple.
Well, we talked about the danger of North Carolina. Caleb Wilson, who averages 10.8 rebounds per game, has has the ability to push and facilitate. And there's going to be an offensive foul. Granting the basketball back to Carolina, but Caleb Wilson off the rebound has the ability to push, be a playmaker in transition, and throws an absolute dime to the corner. Powell is able to knock down the three.
You mentioned how long it's been since North Carolina was last on the court. They look like they're waking up now. They're on an 8-0 run.
And coincidentally, this crowd seems to get a little louder when they start waking up.
Funny how that happens. Students are not here, but everybody else is. They packed the building pretty much as Wilson draws the foul. And the All-American candidate starting to get really involved in the offense now for Hubert Davis.
All-American candidate, and now Obi at this point, he's starting to creep into that National Player of the Year conversation when you think about what he's doing. And it's amazing that throughout this season, and now we're almost 2 months in, the best players in the country are freshmen. I mean, and Caleb Wilson is absolutely one of those. You talk about, of course, Cameron Boozer, A.J. DeBonsa, Caleb Wilson. These guys have really carried college basketball throughout the season. The freshmen, when you look at it, it could be an All-American team made up of 5 freshmen. That's how good the freshmen have been this year.
NBA scouts in attendance here to see him tonight. No question about that. He has 5 points.
Obi, this is an area where Hubert Davis talked about today. They want to be able to create some turnovers, but they can do it off of free throws. The key is they have to make the free throws.
McGee lines up a long way, sinks the three, and the Seminoles really needed that.
Yeah, but that's the way you attack the pressure if you're Florida State. When you get those looks, and of course, they're never going to turn down and look in transition for 3.
So North Carolina by 3. Trimble will swing it for Derek Dixon. Bessar with a touch to the lane. They put a lot of pressure on him. Back out Trimble. And too strong. Rebounded away by Chauncey Wiggins, the senior from Atlanta. In his 4th year now. Lots of conference experience. As you mentioned, gets it back and lays it in.
And nice job by Wiggins. Really, the fake to the corner got Bessar out of his way, allowing him to be able to get to the rim for the easy one.
Bessar down the lane, flips it up. No, and it's Wilson a follow for 2.
Every possession Caleb Wilson has to be contended with on the offensive glass. If he's not taking the original shot, you've got to make sure you get a body on him, or he will find a way for second chance points.
Wilson leading the Tar Heels in scoring, rebounding, steals, blocks, just about everything. Trimble a determined drive will lay down a foul. And Seth Trimble will head to the line looking for a 3-point play.
And Obi, something that will not be recognized. Caleb Wilson setting a screen in transition.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Kay, the official partner of couples who love the game.
Obi, we came on air talking about Caleb Wilson playing well beyond his years. It's a young man who plays the game the right way. Off a miss, he's out ahead of traffic, but instead of him pouting because he doesn't get the basketball, he stops and sets a screen for his teammate Seth Trimble to get to the rim. He gets the foul, gets the hoop, and again, you've been covering college basketball maybe twice as long as I have. You've seen young guys who, when they don't get the basketball, oftentimes run away and pout.
Sure.
Caleb Wilson makes a play to help his teammate put 3 points on the board. Those are winning basketball plays.
So he got off to a bit of a quiet start. Now he has 6 rebounds and 7 points with about 11 minutes to go in the half.
Which is a really good game for many guys.
Yes. He's got a long way to go. What a talent. So 18-12 North Carolina in an early danger zone for the Seminoles, but McGee with a terrific shot out of the corner. Kobe McGee makes about 32% from 3.
A late switch by Bogovac, allowing McGee to have just enough space to knock that one down. Not enough communication by the Tar Heels on that one. Jaren Stevenson almost a turnover there. Caleb able to save it.
So with a save. Swing up top, long distance, won't go by Evans. The 6'2" junior off the mark, coming up on the 10-minute mark of the first half. Steen on a high post, working on Stevenson on a hard drive. It's Wilson coming away with another block.
That's the other part of Caleb Wilson's game. 4 blocks for him against East Carolina the last time out. But Alex Steen, former Division II player who leads the ACC in offensive rebounding, has really been a surprise for Luke Loucks' squad this year, providing constant production on the interior, often playing undersized compared to the monsters he has to go up against in the painted area.
The officials got Jaron Stevenson, the junior, for a foul on the play. So that puts Steen at the line, the senior from Florida, transfer from Florida Southern. Kentucky, Alabama, Louisville were also in on him. But decided to play for Luke Loucks, whose first year at the helm for the Seminoles. Wants an NBA style, right?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we talked about Luke Loucks' 2 rings with the Golden State Warriors, their player development program, and also assistant coach with the Sacramento Kings. So Luke Loucks bringing an NBA style of play to Tallahassee, and one that, of course, young players enjoy playing a lot of threes and playing up tempo.
Man, do they want to play fast and fly up the floor. Wilson with the pass tipped away from Stevenson. 4.5 on the shot clock here. Shot selection so far 53% on the 3-pointers. A staggering number. They've attempted 150 more threes than their opponents to date.
Yeah, oftentimes in the NBA, with only 3 seconds on the shot clock, Caleb Wilson able to get a good look. By the way, Luke Loucks told us before, he is a bona fide NBA player. Talk about what he's seen from Caleb Wilson.
Quick take out of the corner by Somerville, but can't hit it. Bogavac in transition, can't finish, but Mr. Wilson does. And with authority.
What else can he do? He rebounds it, he makes the play, his teammate doesn't finish, so he cleans up the mess with the tip dunk.
McGee over the top, intended for Steen in the slam, but he throws that away. 22-17.
Caleb Wilson with only 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. The nice touch on the turnaround over the top. And then as he pushes the break, gets to the Bogavac, was unable to finish. But Caleb there to pick up and clean up the mess. Already a solid game, working on a double-double.
Yeah. 9 minutes to go in the half.
Exactly.
Yeah, 8 rebounds, 11 points for Caleb.
And we showed all the superlatives. He's already has 9 double-doubles on the season, which he's chasing that freshman mark of Antoine James of 13 as well.
They saw nowhere to go, and he threw it away. McCray picked it off for a moment. North Carolina winning it back, and here's Wilson to fire. Battle for the rebound, and that'll go the other way. And a foul here against North Carolina with about 8.5 to play. North Carolina 64-8 in ACC home openers in their storied history. Bogavac will pick up his first foul.
One of those 8 losses came at the hands of this Florida State Seminoles program, their first ever ACC game in this building, as Somerville's able to knock down the 3-ball. Sam Cassell, Doug Edwards, Rodney Dobart, Bob Sura coming into this building and picking up their first ever ACC win.
I knew you'd remember that vividly.
Oh, that's my freshman year.
Tremendous defensive stop by North Carolina. Trimble getting up there.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He provides that energy, especially on the defensive end for this Carolina team.
SR trying to get active. Keeps it alive on the baseline. 7:51 to go here in the first half. Back to Seth Trimble, who missed 42 days after that broken bone in the arm, but undaunted, going up for a spectacular rejection to take away a fast break dunk for the Seminoles. Caleb Wilson already with 11 points, 8 rebounds.
Working on a 10th double-double in just what will be 14 games, OB. And this young man is relentless on the glass. And not just offensively, defensively as well, but still has the skill to be able to make plays above his teammates. And, of course, that no one else on the floor can make.
Luke Loucks, the Seminoles head coach, in his practice today was saying he's going to fly. He's going to run the floor. He's going to be everywhere. Watch out for number 8. Don't lose him. Easier said than done.
Yeah, and he also said that many of the NBA scouts that are salivating about him, calling him and telling him they're going to be in the building today.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I don't know why you're telling me. I don't think you're coming to see anybody on my team. I know who you guys are coming to see.
Yes, with all due respect, we know exactly who everybody wants to see. It's number 8 for North Carolina, freshman from Atlanta. McDonald's All-American, leading the ACC in rebounds. Is a walking double-double.
And not just the scouts. They're actually NBA GMs in the building. I've talked to a couple here already this evening. So, and that's a welcome sign for Kai Evans, knocking down another 3, his second of the game.
Transfer from Colorado State. I'd like to see that scoring come up for Evans, the point guard.
And he had a combined 3 points in the last 2 games, OB, so he's already matched double that in the first half of this one.
Nassar with the rebound. North Carolina to run. Trevor down the lane. Takes a hit. And he will be off to the line again. 25-20 North Carolina. Coming up next, the second game of our double dip as Notre Dame squares off against Stanford at Maples Pavilion in Palo Alto, California. Beautiful Palo Alto.
Some high academic scores in that game. You start talking about those 2 schools. Yeah, you got some.
Yeah, those are SATs I'm not quite acquainted with.
I don't think either of us applied.
No, come on, you went to Virginia. Not exactly a charm school, nor is University of North Carolina, Hubert School. He was moved to tears in the East Carolina game before Christmas when his son Elijah, who was a walk-on for the Heels, scored his first points at North Carolina. And of course, his dad was a star in that uniform, and the Smith Center erupted like Carolina had hit a buzzer beater in March.
Yeah, and Hubert was still emotional talking to us about it earlier today and said, I can't imagine many places where 3 generations of a family have scored in the same program.
Incredible. Foul before the shot. This is Elijah in the last game, got into the contest. He heaves it up there. This place went crazy.
Knocks down to 3 right in front of the bench, and you see how excited his teammates were. Dad tried to act calm in the midst of it. Had a conversation with Elijah earlier today. We talked with Hubert earlier, asked, does he want to coach? Just had a brief conversation with him pregame, and he was a little discouraged by all that his dad deals with in a, you know, as the head coach of University of North Carolina. I simply told him, hey, you don't have to be the coach here. There are many other places you can coach and make an impact.
Yes, it's different here. This is the big leagues.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't get any bigger. Triple denied. Here's Evans again. All starting to heat up.
3 threes now for Evans against that zone. And Luke Locke made it clear to us, if someone else beats us outside of Caleb Wilson and Nassar, we have to live with that. But we can't live with those guys scoring 50 points in the paint to beat us.
This is the biggest lead of the night so far for the Heels. Jones on the spin. Here's Wiggins from the corner. He got an excellent look. It would not go down. And again, it's not about the volume for the Seminoles when it comes to those threes. They only make 31% as a team. Evans again. Not this time. So under 6 to go in the first half here at Chapel Hill. Wiggins, maybe 6'10", but he likes to shoot it from long range. McCray poked away by Trimble.
But once again, a great defensive job by Caleb Wilson. Trimble doesn't have to help off of Wiggins in the corner because McCray can't beat Wilson to the basket. And so when Caleb Wilson is able to sit down in the stance and guard perimeter players, now everyone else can stay home, which allows Seth Trimble to get the deflection.
Wilson affects the game, as you said, on both ends dramatically for North Carolina.
You know, but he's guarding the point guard right now. That shows you how versatile he is as a player. Hubert Davis has him guarding the point guard for Florida State.
Shot clock dwindling down. They do get it inside, and a foul with 1.3 on the shot clock. So a bit of a bailout there. That's on Karen Stevenson, his second. And that will put the Seminoles to the line. Florida State picked 14th in the 18-team ACC this year. And Wiggins will have another one coming. He's usually their best foul shooter at 91%.
Yeah, in a game like this, those opportunities you can't give away, especially knowing that you've been able to do a great job defensively on the Tar Heels to this point. But in this building, you're only going to hold them down so long. Florida State's going to have to score enough points to be able to beat these Heels today.
He makes one of two, 29-23. And pressure now from the Seminoles, and they'll back it away. Evans out the logo, calling out a play now for Hubert Davis. Evans, shot clock inside 10. Trying to lean inside, left it short. And a whistle. Roger Ayers blowing the whistle and a foul.
That's going to get Caleb Wilson, who had grabbed the arm and down the rebound, forcing the ball out of bounds. But
number one.
No, only the first on Caleb.
So a 6-point lead for the Heels. McCray trying to get started. He's really been a magician in terms of the assist total. 7 a game to lead the conference. Back downstairs, it's Wiggins. Wiggins denied. It's popped up off the backboard. Wilson gets it back. Now showing off the passing skills too. And a quick strike as Trimble lays it out.
How many times have we seen that already in this game? Caleb Wilson coming up with the rebound and then initiating the transition play. That time with a little fancy ball handling off of the rebound that got the crowd here in the Dean E. Smith Center on their feet.
Jaden Young will pick up the foul. His first. Time for a 1-and-1. And Coach Laux going back to his bench. He'll bring the big Steen back in. And Henry Vessar returns to 7-footer for North Carolina.
And Vessar has been relatively quiet throughout this game. So it really, you consider the fact that Caleb Wilson has done the majority of the work for that front court we came on talking about. Vessar scoreless to this point. And you're talking about a young man who averages over 16 points per game and 9.2 rebounds. So just what happens if he starts to get heated up here.
He's done it against some good teams too. 20 against Kansas. 18 and 15 against Georgetown. So really hitting the backboards in that one. Wiggins with another one coming. Second half of the 1-and-1.
Obi, there have been 6 games this season where both Caleb Wilson and Henry Vessar have each had double-doubles. So 2 guys with double-doubles in 6 separate games throughout this year. I mean, just a great combination. And when you start talking about roster construction, bringing in Vessar alongside Caleb Wilson was the perfect complement to be able to put this front court together for the Tar Heels.
Vessar from Estonia, 7-foot junior. Beautifully run and the slam by Stevenson. Now so far the play of the night for North Carolina. They bolster the lead under 4 minutes at 33-25. McCray with a triple. Rebounded by Trimble, who's had a lively first half. The senior from Wisconsin. Trimble to drive it. A little too strong, but another whistle. And a foul with about 3.5 to go. Some nice passing here by the Heels.
Yeah, the front court's not all about their scoring. Caleb with some nice ball handling, gets out in transition, and then drops the dime to set Trimble. And then catching in the middle of the zone, Henry Vessar is able to drop it off to Jaron Stevenson, who drops the hammer.
Seth, Malcolm Zubin coming up in the Kay Jewelers halftime report. No Power 4 league is a better year-to-year flip than the ACC. So what's behind the rise? The fellas with the answer at the half. What do we see in the first half?
Well, I like how Florida State started this game off, keeping North Carolina out of the paint, but they got to do a better job keeping Caleb Wilson off the glass. 3 offensive rebounds already.
Keep him out of the paint if you can set your defense. When you miss shots, you can. Hey, Corey, by the way, Virginia Tech, Virginia tomorrow, you still have some eligibility. So you know what? Second semester, suit up and let it fly, brother.
Coach, I only wish I could suit up and let it fly, but when you consider suiting up and letting it fly, that's exactly what Florida State wants to do in this game. Unfortunately, Obi, they have not been able to knock them down. We came in talking about what they do from 3, 4 of 14 already in this game. And what's the number going to be? What do they have to make? They've had a game where they made 18 early in the season. They're going to have to make that many or even more to try to beat this Carolina team.
When you take 36 a game and are on pace to do that again in this contest at North Carolina, when you're that committed to it, you live and die with it,
yes,
right?
You absolutely do. And again, you got to have the personnel that does it. And Luke Laux thinks that they're a better shooting team than they've shown, as does Hubert Davis thinks his team is a better shooting team than they've shown throughout this point. We'll see which one of these two teams starts to pick it up from beyond the arc.
Downstairs, Miles denied. Good job by Dixon to get downstairs to help out defensively. Off for Jonathan Powell. Dixon will set it up now as we approach 3 minutes to play at Chapel Hill in the first half. Wilson up to set the screen. And a kick ball by Steen. It'll be North Carolina basketball. So the Tar Heels with a lead of 10. Starting to look a lot more comfortable than the way the game started. But you made a great point early. With all the layoff time for North Carolina, they were bound to be a little rusty.
Yeah, and again, they were playing so well before the 8-day break. I'm sure Hubert Davis didn't want to take that time away. But they started to pick up a little bit of rhythm, especially behind this guy, Caleb Wilson, now with 13 and 9, with still 2.5 remaining in the first half.
Kind of like his chances of another double-double right away, but the three-pointer will silence the crowd momentarily.
Martin Somerville knocking down another 3, and this is the guy that Florida State has to rely on to provide that shooting from beyond the arc.
He's been their most consistent three-point man, 41% for FSU. Dribble on the dribble. Wants to spin and fire, and it goes down with a touch.
Nice touch. But you know, one of the things I love about that, OB, Trimble makes the move, makes the shot, but the guy smiling is Caleb Wilson. He's excited to see his teammates have success. And that's the type of personality that Hubert Davis absolutely wants in this program. One of the reasons he talks about this is one of the best young men that's ever come through this program, not even just the guys he's coached.
FSU a timeout. Coming up on Sunday on ESPN, a packed women's basketball triple header. 5 of the top 25, beginning with Stanford at number 16, North Carolina. Then number 22, Baylor, and Iowa State, they're number 10. And at 3 o'clock and ending with number 5, LSU visiting number 12, Vanderbilt. That's all next Sunday, part of Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers.
I'm locked in. My man, the notorious D.O.B. will be on the call 1 p.m. Stanford, North Carolina. And then the nightcap. LSU averaging 108 points per game. Unreal. Again, you got to tune in to watch that type of action.
Tipped away and controlled by North Carolina. Picked up by Powell. Trying to add on to their lead. Trimble has hit double figures here in the first half. Dixon on Somerville. That's a pretty good matchup. Looking inside. And now up top for Wilson. To the corner. Around and out by Powell. .117 to go in half number 1. McGee feeding Wiggins. Jones hits the deck. No travel. McGee gets bottled up. Here's McCray open. Got it to 3.
And back-to-back threes for the Seminoles, allowing them to get this back to an 8-point game. So that's the recipe for success for Luke Laux. And more importantly, the ball changing sides of the floor. Multiple guys getting their hands on it.
Uh-oh. Wilson. Oh, for the dunk and drops the foul. You weren't the only one going, uh-oh. There were some guys in the garnet and gold who were doing that.
But once the fake handoff happened and you see him get his shoulders past a defender right here, you know somebody is in trouble. Great job by Jones going up and impeding his progress to the rim. Otherwise, we would be talking about the #1 play on SportsCenter tonight.
Without a doubt. Jay Jones, a 6'7" senior, with the foul to put Caleb Wilson at the line. He makes 69%.
That's another area of concern for Hubert Davis. He feels like not only can they, but they must become a better free throw shooting team as the season goes along in order to have the type of success that he feels that this team has the potential to reach. So, but this is the area where he wants to be able to pick up full court, whether it's in their 23 man-to-man full court pressure or their diamond press. But they have to make the free throws to set up their pressure.
Yeah, as a team, they're 68%. They want to be somewhere in the mid-70s if they can. So 43 seconds before the break here at Chapel Hill. North Carolina recovering from a pretty quiet start. Somerville way downtown, but no. Wiggins keeps it alive. Back for McGee, who will launch, and he hits that one.
Always the best time to shoot the three on the offensive rebound. This team averaged over 14 offensive rebounds a game, and that one turns into 3 second chance points.
McGee with 9. He's 3 for 3 from downtown, and a timeout. Just under 20 seconds. North Carolina to drop a play before halftime. Well, North Carolina was closing in on pushing this to blowout territory, but back come the Seminoles hitting the triples.
And Kobe McGee, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc in this game, has stepped up and made big plays for his team, as well as McCray able to knock down the 3. So the backcourt for Florida State providing a punch here down the stretch of this first half. They made 3 of their last 4 from beyond the arc and made it a 6-point game.
So Hubert Davis calling a timeout. The shot clock off, 19.7 on a game clock before halftime, and a 6-point game is going to get Kobe McGee back in. 32% from the 3-point line for McGee, named after Kobe Bryant. And inbounded for Trimble. He'll set it up. Down to 10 seconds. McCray guarding him. Down to 6. Trimble on the attack. And it's going to be a travel. So an opportunity here for the Seminoles to make it uncomfortably close by halftime.
Yeah, going to get Martin Somerville back in the game. A 3-point shooter. And this is a guy that could be dangerous as he passes the basketball in if he gets it back and is able to run into a 3.
McCray. Pass midcourt, gets a look, and can't hit it. He did everything except hit the shot. North Carolina had a 12-point lead, but at halftime it's only 6 here against the Seminoles. You're watching ESPN Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. It's the ACC on ESPN. Getting set for the second half. North Carolina led by as many as 12, but the Noles shot their way back in it. They made 7 of 19 from 3. For them, that is quite high, and it's just a 6-point lead for North Carolina as we get set for the second half. Dave O'Brien alongside Corey Alexander. The question is, can they keep that going?
That's the big question here, especially on the road. Can you keep up that shooting percentage? But when you consider what North Carolina was able to do without Henry Bessar even scoring, part of that front court tandem that's one of the best in the country. But Caleb Wilson absolutely provided all the spark they needed in the first half. 14 points, 9 rebounds, multiple highlights. Even when he's creating the opportunities in the break, he's still there to finish them off when his teammates aren't able to do so. On the other end, the 3-point shooting, as you mentioned, OB, has been spectacular for the Florida State Seminoles. 7 of 19, which may not be a great number, but for them, that's 6% above what they've done on the season, and enough to make this a 6-point game at halftime.
Because they're so incredibly reliant on that shot. They've made a higher percentage than they typically do, and that's very good news for the Seminoles. They started out 4 out of 14, then went 3 for 5 down the stretch. Points off turnovers, a big 0 there for the Seminoles. North Carolina with 8. And you talk about Henry Bessar, who came in averaging 17 points, 9 rebounds a game. Talk about donuts. Did not score in that first half, as you pointed out. It's the first time this year he's not scored in the first half of the game.
Well, and there have been games throughout this year where he's been their best player, even with Caleb Wilson on the floor. I believe you did the game at Kentucky where he was really the guy that was the difference maker for them. And so when you consider the fact that he didn't score in that first half, Luke Laux has to be extremely proud of what his team did defensively, but very aware of what he would do here as they get the ball to him to start the second half.
Well, that was right on cue. And the slam for the 7-footer from Estonia to make it 42-34 Carolina. McRae, top assist man in the conference, getting it downstairs. He gets a foul, too. Alex Steen will pick up the personal.
Hubert Davis clearing the side, and what you see are 4 Tar Heels on one side of the floor, which takes away the help on the backside. When you've got a 7'1" post player, all you have to do is deliver the basketball over top of the defensive hand, and he's going to get an easy one with there, no one to help on the backside.
So Steen at the line makes the first, 69% for him. Boy, Florida State, talk about getting into the thick of the ACC, a rough schedule. They've got North Carolina, Duke, and NC State in succession to begin the ACC.
I believe that's what you call Tobacco Road.
That's what you call a gauntlet.
Yes, it does. The gauntlet on Tobacco Road. Welcome to the ACC again. Luke Loucks, who, of course, was an ACC tournament champion at Florida State in 2012. Knows his way around the league, but the league is a lot different than it was when he left in 2012. Now 18 teams in the ACC.
Well, Carolina has a schedule coming up where they're going to play on the road 3 schools out of 4 and they've never played there before.
Never played at SMU, never played at Stanford, never played at Cal, but those are 3 of their next 4 games on the road. And you consider the fact that the Tar Heels will only play 2 home games in the month of January.
Steen with the pick. Jones to penetrate. And a block by Wilson. He came out of nowhere. Trimble on the other end. Lays it up and in.
And Obi, I can't wait for us to see the replay of what Caleb Wilson did defensively on that possession. Johnson Wiggins able to get to the mid-range and knock down the 3, which isn't the shot that Luke Loucks wants. Only 3% of their shots come from the mid-range.
They're getting sloppy with it. North Carolina usually very stingy with the turnover. Steen went for the scoop and he'll draw a foul. He's back to the line. It's going to be number 3 on Vassar.
Watch this, Obi. He waits for Jones to get to the other side of the basket. Lets him get past him, knowing that he's going to the reverse. He's going to block the shot. But more importantly, he blocks the shot and then keeps it to be able to kick the basketball ahead. Great play on the defensive end of the floor by Caleb Wilson. He's provided so much offensively already, doing the job on both ends.
The great Bill Russell, and he would say the greatest shot blocker the game ever saw, was a magician at exactly what you just described. Yes, blocking the shot, denying the 2 points, but keeping it in play and often directing it back to a Celtic.
Yes, and again, that allows the Tar Heels to start the break, and now you look at the Division I leader in double-doubles. Caleb Wilson in double figures, 3rd nationally in double-doubles. Two missed free throws, Obi. Crumble cookies for everyone in the crowd except me.
You can't, because you're on a very, very strict diet. You may sneak a box or 2 on your long drive tonight.
You know me too well.
Bogavas will swing for Evans. Evans beyond the 3, shot clock dwindling down. North Carolina had to heave it. 44-38. FSU still hanging in here, but a turnover for the Seminoles. Bogavas will bring it out. So far he's had a rough game. The 6'6" junior from Montenegro. He finds Stevenson. Evans will plant the fire. And a second effort now for North Carolina.
And you can see the Seminoles will sell completely out to keep the basketball out of Caleb Wilson's hands in the paint. That's going to open up opportunities for Evans, Bogavas, and Trimble on the perimeter.
Bogavas down the paint, flips it up there, kind of a wild shot. Wilson can't tip it in. They'll get another look. Here's Evans. That came off the hand, very ugly and out of play.
And Evans shot the basketball very well, 3 of 5 from 3 in the first half. Don't expect to see a guy shoot an air ball, but this Tar Heel team had 8 different guys make a 3 in their last performance here against East Carolina. Only 2 guys have made one in this game, and Evans has made 3 of them. They're 4 of 18 from beyond the arc.
A little blood there for Seth Trimble. Always seems to be nicked up. Not quite as bad as the broken bone in the arm.
Yeah. Went into the crowd after the layup on the break.
Well, he plays hard. Senior from Wisconsin. They played well without him. And if you're the head coach and one of your best players misses 42 days and you go 8-1 without him, you're feeling pretty good about your team.
But that one was Michigan State. They really missed him in that game. Just his toughness and his experience, having played in so many big games like that before, and has experience playing against Michigan State. Played against them in Maui a season ago, so was absolutely missed in that game. But you look forward to having him back, and now this team gets better with Seth Trimble back on the floor.
And while he was out, they won at Kentucky by 3, 67-64, and right before Christmas they snuck past Ohio State by 1 point. But the big story was Trimble coming back. The return of him after the broken arm. That's 15 points a game and all sorts of valuable leadership for North Carolina. And he can defend like crazy.
Yeah, look what he's doing on the defensive end of the floor, making life miserable for McCray.
Jones from the corner and will sink the 3.
McCray was fortunate to get Seth Trimble off of him with the switch, and then is able to attack the paint and do what he does best. ACC leading 7.1 assists per game, drops another dime.
And a little rumble goes through the crowd here at Chapel Hill as it tightens up again.
Yeah, the Seminoles have made it a 1-possession game with their 3, not cutting the lead to 3.
Carolina missing 5 straight shots. Trimble trying to end that. Up top, Evans straight on. His last couple of shots have not looked good at all. A 3-point lead here for North Carolina.
Rob McCray attacking the paint against Bogovac after getting Trimble off him, is able to touch the paint and find Jones in the corner. That 3 ball is good to make it a 1-possession game. That's the recipe of success for the Seminoles. Touch the paint and find a teammate on the outside.
McCray, a determined drive and a kick for Somerville. He's been the #1 3-point man. Second effort. Jones on the spin, working on Trimble, backing him down, lays it in.
Nice play by Jones. Didn't settle for the 3. Used the size against Trimble to get to the rim and get a layup.
FSU within 1 on the road at Chapel Hill. North Carolina for only the 5th time wearing home blue uniforms. Downstairs, Wilson will not miss that one.
But Wilson continued to work. He wanted the basketball in the high-low. Florida State selling completely out to make sure he doesn't give it. They'll give up the shot on the perimeter, but that time Caleb works across the block to get great position.
A big crowd of about 23,000 on hand, even without the students at Chapel Hill. Somerville off the fake. Jones is open. Florida State with an opportunity there to tie the ball game. They've been down by as many as a dozen. And a long distance shot, too strong, off the back iron by Dixon.
You don't mind Dixon taking that shot, but he's got an advantage against Steen when he has to go to the rim.
Oh, Jones went for the slam, but came up empty. And a whistle on the play with 15:09 to go. And a ball game here at North Carolina tonight.
Lejay Jones attacking off the bounce, able to use his size, great footwork to finish. But Caleb Wilson, the answer on the other end, post position and the finish.
College football playoff continuing on ESPN and the ESPN app. The quarterfinals starting tomorrow night. And can anybody stop the magic carpet ride of Indiana, which has been a perfect season for the Hoosiers?
I tell you what, Indiana going up against maybe the greatest college football program of all time. So that is one way to validate. If you're going to be a national champion, absolutely validating that by beating Alabama. I'm sure the Ohio State fans might have something to say about that.
Just a bit. 46-43. Seminoles with the ball and an opportunity to tie again. Last time they led this game, it was 7-5.
You see that matchup again with Caleb Wilson guarding McCray. Now they get the switch, and McCray's been able to beat Bessar off the bounce, able to do so in that possession, but can't finish.
Wilson in transition. Curl around pass, Bessar with a dunk, and that's how he's got his 4 points in this game.
And a great play by Derek Dixon attacking the basket and then dropping it off to the big fella to finish.
Gray trying to use his touch. Suddenly, Henry Bessar is beginning to become a problem for the Seminoles.
And came out of the game with just under 2 minutes having been played in that in the second half, as Powell's able to knock down his second 3 of the game. So Hubert Davis got Bessar out quickly, but now getting him back in the game, he's playing with a little bit different intensity.
Carolina's number 2 scorer, number 2 rebounder behind Caleb Wilson. See if McCray can get rocking and rolling. He is the heart and soul of the offense for FSU, and that'll be knocked down by Chauncey Wiggins. 6'10", he likes the three-point shot.
Yeah, and that's just a defensive mistake by Seth Trimble, and Seth knows better to be able to give Chauncey Wiggins that type of space. At 6'10", as you mentioned, once he gets into his shooting form, there's not much you can do with it as a small guard.
Chauncey closing in on a double-double. Trimble lines up a long one. He got a great look. Wilson, he beat everyone to the ball, and the foul as Bessar will go to the line. But how about the hustle by the freshman Wilson to get to that?
That's it, OB. He made the cross-court pass for Seth Trimble to get the 3. And as the shot comes off, Caleb Wilson comes all the way from the opposite wing, outruns not only the Seminoles, but everyone on his team as well, to pick up an offensive rebound, and then picks up his 4th assist once he corrals it.
Well, you've got to love playing with a guy like that.
Absolutely, but look at the smile. This is what I love, and I've known this young man for a very, very long time. This is who he is. He is a great person, and that's one of the things that Hubert Davis just raves about, how good of a young man he is and how much he's meant to this program.
GPA in high school is 3.8, so he got it done every way you can get it done. McGee off to Wiggins, the swing for the corner, and the long one is around and out by Miles. He gets it back. Here's Wiggins to launch. That's in and out. Another loose ball. Trimble finally comes away with it for North Carolina. On the drive, and a foul by Jones.
Smart play by Seth Trimble, recognizing with Jones having to defend him one-on-one with a full head of steam. Just getting to the rim, finding a way to get the rebound, get to the free throw line after Carolina's able to get the defensive rebound, where they're one of the best in the country, but Florida State has made it difficult on them going after the offensive glass.
Jay Jones with his 3rd foul. Trimble, usually an excellent foul shooter, 83%. Jones will hit the bench now for Coach Laux. And number 2 for the senior. Missed them both.
That's shot. Seth Trimble got a lot of time with that broken left forearm to be able to shoot free throws. Saw him in the gym doing a lot of one-hand work. And you mentioned 83%. You don't see a guy like that miss too often.
Miles, another excellent opportunity, but can't hit it. That's going to go the other way with North Carolina basketball. Another hustle play by Seth Trimble.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Seth actually in the stands? On either end of the floor, we've seen him tumble over into the Carolina faithful a number of times throughout this game.
No, he needs to buy a ticket. He's spending more time in the stands than he is on the court right now. But you know, Hubert Davis just loves the effort, and having him back and everything that he means, he's going to get a breather here.
Completely different dynamic having him back in the lineup as you see him going after the loose ball. And you know, even though that may not actually be a real seat, he takes one. I agree with you, OB. You got to buy a ticket to sit there.
I think that's an expensive seat here at Chapel Hill. 53-46. Dixon, a lot of talent from the freshman. Around the logo, shot clock inside 10. Gets free. Wilson with the slam with a tomahawk. Oh my! That was resounding. Well, that brought the building to life in a big way. Wiggins will fling it here for McGee, and around and out it goes, but another effort now. Somerville keeping it alive. Miles on the drive. The scoop shot. No. SR comes away with a loose ball. Dixon with a quick penetration. Finds the open shooter. Evans, and he knocks down the three, and a timeout, Florida State.
Momentum is an amazing thing, OB. And the momentum has been created by Caleb Wilson. The finish. Well, a play that looked like it was going to be a disaster for North Carolina turns out to be a SportsCenter top 10 highlight. This might be number one for here Tuesday, OB.
Caleb Wilson, 18 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 out of 11 from the field. Still has 12 minutes to go.
And the highlight of the game as Derek Dixon attacks the basket. Caleb Wilson doesn't wait for the basketball. He makes the impact with his cutting, attacking the basket, and then, of course, the highlight level finish above the rim. And I believe we will see that as our top play of the day.
I was about to say, that play went from absolutely nothing to SportsCenter.
Yeah, I mean, Dixon was getting pressured on the perimeter, and then once he finally was able to get past Somerville is when magic happened, to say the least.
44 dunks for Wilson, leading Division I. And among many categories where he is tops in the ACC. McCray, and the pass interrupted. Got to Jones, though, and he can't sink it. So North Carolina with an opportunity to put the hammer down. Laux couldn't wait. He had to call the timeout even though he was under 12.
The Tar Heels matched their largest lead and once again clearing that backside.
And the third line of SR who has been a factor in the second half.
And Wilson with his 5th assist, because if you take him out of the area, then whoever the next tallest guy guarding can't even get over there to try to defend Bessard once he catches the ball over the top.
McGee slamming on the brakes, little spin move, can't finish. So Dixon will set it up here. Bessard puts it to the deck, dumps it down for Wilson, and another slam. 11-0 run. He gets to 20 points for the 6th consecutive game. He passes the great Phil Ford, who did in 5 straight games. The long launch, no. And all the momentum to the men in blue. McCray is on the line. And so that will be North Carolina ball. Big smile there from Phil.
The first time a freshman has scored 6 straight 20-point games. Of course, Phil Ford, maybe the first great freshman in the ACC, the first freshman to ever win the ACC tournament most valuable player. And, of course, Mr. Four Corners loves to be here watching this.
Now he's all business again. Our man John Madry reminds us this score was 44-43 just a few minutes ago. Since then, North Carolina an 18-3 run.
And Florida State only 2 of 11 from beyond the 3-point arc in this second half. That's the way they were able to get back into the game. North Carolina locking down defensively, allowing them to build their biggest lead of the game.
Evans on the dribble will fire it up.
But they're part of the offense. Just get a shot on the glass, because with those 2 guys on the interior, you got a great chance of being able to get an offensive rebound.
Wilson a little too strong with that turnaround. Somerville trying to cut into the deficit. There's Jones, has a size advantage here. And knocks that one down, taking advantage of Evans. It's 6'7" against 6'2". So Jones with 10. They need a hot hand, though. Wilson trying to jump closer to the 10. He'll draw the foul. That's going to be 4 on Jay Jones, the senior. Actually, they're going to get Somerville. They changed that. It's going to be done Somerville. And that'll be his 3rd. 9:19 to go at Chapel Hill. Bessard doubled up, immediately gets rid of it. They find the open shooter in Powell. And out. Second ever.
Yeah, another offensive rebound, OB, and that's part of the offense for the Tar Heels. They average over 12 offensive rebounds per game. Hubert Davis made it clear to us 38% of their misses they're going out and getting. And so he likes what they're doing on the offensive glass. He still feels they can be better.
Wilson trying to beat Jones and throws it away. McRae up ahead on the foul against North Carolina. Thomas Besson, the 6'8" freshman from Paris, will head to the line with 8:50 to go. And the foul on Powell will be his first.
I believe Hubert's going to get Caleb a bit of a breather here. One of the things about when you play as hard as Caleb Wilson does, guys, I mean, and coaches ask you, play till exhaustion. And again, that's what, of course, one of the reasons he wears the number 8, Kobe Bryant. And that's what Kobe said, play till exhausted, play till you're exhausted. And Caleb does that. And Hubert Davis recognizing it, going to get Caleb a breather here. 8:50 remaining. Most likely we see him back once we come from the next media timeout. But I love the way that the relationship between he and Hubert Davis goes. We saw him in shoot around earlier today after they went over the scouting report. And when Caleb was actually raising his hand to ask questions, he goes over to Hubert and asks him about how do you guard a specific action. Those two had about a 2-3 minute conversation while the rest of the team went on about their shooting drill.
And Hubert was very complimentary of the rookie during the workout today. About 4 or 5 times he said, nice job, Caleb. Nice job. That's exactly right, Caleb. Really has a special relationship indeed with him. Evans, 3 on the way. Trimble on the weak side with the rebound. They'll get another chance. He has 6.
I believe that's 3 straight possessions where they've gotten the offensive rebound after the initial action.
Shot clock to 5. Evans trying to drive it, runs right into a wall, got it up there anyway. And it will be FSU basketball. So we are under 8. And it's North Carolina with a 62-49 lead in their ACC opener with FSU. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Kay, the official partner of couples who love the game. We love dunks, and Caleb Wilson can provide those more than anybody in Division I. Big freshman from Atlanta, another sensational game, another double-double.
Obi, coming into Caleb's senior year of high school, really the spring before, he spent a lot of time on the perimeter. And that was one of the areas of concern where people were wondering, okay, how good is this young man really? He made almost a mentality shift. And he decided, I'm just going to dominate people on the paint. And you see what he does in transition. He has the perimeter skills. But once he made a decision that he was going to just dominate in the paint is where we got to see this guy that we're seeing now as Kobe McGee's able to knock down the 3-ball. But it was the combination of that and joining Cameron and Caden Boozer for the Knight Riders. And he left the Georgia Stars to go play with the Knight Riders, and the rest is history. He learned how to play with other great players, which is part of the reason why he's helping this team win so much.
Had a breather there. He's back on the floor. I just want to be a dog. I want to respect from everybody. I feel like I'm the best player in the country, and all I can do is go prove it.
And he has done so time and time again. Now with his 10th double-double and 6th straight 20-point game.
20 along with 14 rebounds and 5 assists. Turn around, and that won't go by Maluk. Maluk, 6'11" sophomore, was the cousin of Bol Bol of the Phoenix Suns. Getting some late minutes here with about 7 minutes to go. And the foul will go against Evans of North Carolina.
Maluk, who made his first 3-pointers of his career, the two of the last 3 games, knocked down 2 threes. And again, Luke Louts, of course, is encouraging everyone on their roster to shoot the 3. Maluka didn't make one as a freshman last year. Has already made 2 in the season.
Well, Vassar on the inbound's got a hand on it. He's had an excellent second half.
Yeah, he really has. He's done all of his work in the second half. He's only 2 points away from a double-double.
Having not scored in the first 20 minutes. He gets a touch up top. Here's Trimble. Wilson will swing. The shot by Evans. Got it.
Timely shooting by Evans. 5 threes for him on the evening.
At 15 points, he came in averaging only 6 points a game. They'll give up the lay-in. But if Evans can get anywhere near that kind of offensive production.
But it goes back to what Luke Louts told us earlier. Hey, if the other guys beat us, we're just going to lose. We just can't allow it to be Caleb Wilson and Vassar as Wilson continues to beat them in the painted area. So it's really been a combination of both for the Tar Heels.
Wilson had to adjust his shot midair, made it anyway. Jones off the fake. Taking on Wilson one-on-one. Got it free for the corner jumper, and that won't drop for Maluk. On the run, Trimble trying to beat everybody. Will draw the foul as he hits the deck. And once again takes a pretty good hit right into the stanchion. Crowd didn't like it.
I tell you what I don't like, and it's difficult not to do, but Seth, of course, recovering from that broken forearm on that left arm. Every time he's gone to the floor, which has been a lot throughout this day, he has put that left arm down. And I've been over here just wincing as you watch him go in for the basket. And again, I don't think that's anything extra, but watch him put that left arm down. That's the scary part to me. And that he did have surgery to repair the forearm, the break. So it has been.
Well, officials are going to get together here. With 5:53 to go, Hubert Davis had come over and talked to Lee Cassell. Let's see if they take a look as far as something extra.
Yeah, did Hubert challenge this? Is this an appeal? Or did this conversation? Okay, then he's not going to challenge it.
No challenge.
Yeah, they're going to get everybody back on the floor. He's not going to challenge that. I think like that decision. I don't think that was anything extracurricular. You know, McCray just got his hand in there trying to get the basketball away. And when you jump off of 1 foot as a basketball player, you can't balance yourself in the air. So a tough fall by Seth, but I don't think there was anything malicious on that play.
So Trimble to shoot 2. 12 points so far for the senior. There's still time here for the Seminoles to make a run and to climb back in this game. Trimble with a second foul shot. And makes the pair. So back up to 15. Ron McCray, the senior, on the crossover. That's strong, and it's going to be up and in by Maluk to follow the shot.
Nice play by Maluk, crashing the glass. After the shot blockers go to get it, there's no one there to keep him from getting the second chance points.
Dribble doubled up, trying to get free, gets it to Wilson. Vassar thought about it. It's actually been tremendous beyond the three-point line. Sitting 50%. Evans off the dribble. No. 5 minutes to go here at the Smith Center. Is McGee to launch, but no. And Maluk over the back commits the foul.
And that bucket, if McGee was able to knock that down, would have made a 10-point game. And McGee's really provided a lot of perimeter shooting for the Seminoles in this game. Made a couple at the end of the first half to make it a 6-point game. but a big one there that could have made it a 10-point game and given the Noles a little bit of life here under 5 minutes.
Now Robert McCray, the senior, back to the bench, the ACC assist leader. And North Carolina has made life difficult for him tonight.
Well, it has 5 turnovers for McCray. The Tar Heels defense has been stellar all season long. This is one of the best defenses in the country.
Wilson gets a clean look, but no. Rebound tapped away.
Great effort by Powell trying to get offensive rebound, but gives the Noles numbers.
And a foul on the deck with 4:23 remaining. And North Carolina on top 69-56. Evans will take a seat. And Dixon back on. It's going to be 2 fouls on Kyan Evans, who's had a strong game here tonight.
He really has. 5 threes for him.
Again came in averaging 6 points and a foul. Trevor angry at himself.
Yeah, and again with Maluk catching it that far away from the basket, Trimble puts him at the free throw line and really gives the Seminoles a great chance to put points on the board without the clock having to run.
Yeah, and still with over 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, Seth disappointed himself for not making Maluk have to work for points.
And the sophomore only 58% at the foul line. Rebound tip to the corner and saved by Somerville. Wiggins will fire quickly. Got it. Well, they live and die by the 3 and trying to make their way back into game. He has 13 and it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, and that's that big shot they were looking for. You can see the Florida State bench, guys standing up. And the basketball being mishandled by Dixon. The crowd here still a little anxious after the turnover, unable to really get separation from the Seminoles.
And that's 8 turnovers for Hubert Davis's team.
And the Seminoles, as you mentioned, OB, they live and die by the 3. And right now there's life on the Florida State bench after Chauncey Wiggins makes it a 10-point game.
Seth Malcolm, Zubin in the studio. Notre Dame and Stanford is next. Coach Shrewsbury, Dad, putting a lot of blame on their last loss to Indiana Fort Wayne on Dad's shoulders.
With Marcus Burton out, Brady Shrewsbury's got to do a little bit more. 48% three-point shooter. He and Jalen Harrelson need to step up.
This guy's coming off 32 in his last game, one of the top scorers in the country.
One freshman we should talk a lot about more. This guy can flat out ball. Tied for 3rd in points per game in college basketball.
Next from the farm.
Notre Dame and Stanford to come. A couple of the better scorers in America will be on your TV screen.
Yeah, Corey, 22.8 per game. And when you consider the fact that he's second to Cameron Boozer in the ACC in scoring, Boozer actually leads Division I in scoring as a freshman. So we've got an elite class of freshmen this season.
Again, FSU trying to come back. That's been the theme of the night. Trying to make a comeback. Wiggins. And Wilson comes away with it.
And his defense throughout this game may be just as impressive as what he's done on the offensive end of the floor. We've shown a number of times where he's allowed defenders to get to this, offensive players to get to their spot to only block their shot once they get comfortable.
And does not foul. So 3:07 left. So it's a 16-point lead not long ago for North Carolina. Trimble shot won't fall. Bessar back up and 2.
I love the way Bessar tries to dunk everything around the rim. There's no finesse. He's not going to give his opponents an opportunity to block his shot and put it on the glass. He goes and finishes strong with 2 hands.
Okay, knocked away from him. The theft by Trimble in transition. No. Scooped up by Jones. Florida State not done yet. Still firing up the 3s. And a scrap for the rebound and a tie-up on the play. Possession error will keep it on this end with 2:27 to go. And Kobe McGee has had a solid game. He's 4 for 8 from 3-point land. He's back on now for the Noles.
The offensive possession, Luke Rouse going to look to see if he can get another quality look from three and find a way to make this a single-digit game. As Jaron Stevenson checks back in for Vesar, who now has joined Caleb Wilson. Now the 7th game where both guys have racked up double-doubles.
McCray. Got a quick step to his left and knocks it down.
Once again, North Carolina not going to leave shooters on the perimeter. They'll take their chances with McCray finishing at the basket. He does on the last possession.
9 points. Came in averaging 14. Dixon wriggles free. The pass for Stevenson. He can't bury it. McCray for the rebound. FSU again trying to make a run here. The 3 won't drop for McGee. And the rebound tapped out of play. It'll stay right here. 1:48 to go. So time the enemy of the FSU Seminoles right now, and Vesar coming back on now for North Carolina.
Going to get Stevenson and Vesar. We watched him get a hand on the basketball on an underneath out of bounds play, a deflection that led to a turnover. So got to be very careful trying to make a pass over the 7-footer.
Jones kicks it out. The swing from McCray, too strong. On the loose ball numbers here. 2-on-1 trouble. Finishes with the dunk.
He kept his word, OB.
He told you back on the shoot around at about 2 o'clock this afternoon he was going to have a dunk in this game. And it was a pretty spectacular one.
Hubert Davis had to go hurry Seth up, make sure he got across before 20 hit the shot clock.
And Vesar with another slam as he will draw the foul.
Seth Trimble getting out in transition. This has to feel great for him as he's still knocking off some of the rust, trying to get back into playing shape, but being able to get out in transition with the dunk. But I can tell you what, we've seen a number of highlights throughout this game, and Caleb Wilson's dunk still number 1. Number 2 might be Hubert Davis sprinting from out of the coach's box to hurry Seth Trimble up to make sure they don't get the backcourt violation.
I think you might be right. Showing off some wheels there. Hubert was joking with us today. They had just spent some time at the gym. He said, look, it's not like I'm doing a lot of squats with big weights or not throwing a lot around in that gym, but
well, I missed him in his workout. Hubert comes in and he walks around the court for 20 minutes with his headphones in, you know, just trying to find his place of peace for a little while. Did it before he goes to the weight room. So normally I'm in the gym when he's doing it. Missed him today.
FSU will take a timeout. 52 seconds to go. And 75-63. North Carolina has been able to hold off FSU on several occasions. And coming up, bowl hysteria, including the Cheez-It Bowl, which is Michigan and Texas. Should be a dandy. Michigan coming in number 18 and Texas number 13. That is New Year's Eve. Capital One Bowl Mania on ESPN. I certainly hope you and yours will have a wonderful and safe New Year's. As we come to you tonight from Chapel Hill, getting the ACC schedule underway tonight. North Carolina on the verge of going to 13-1, taking on the Seminoles in the first game of the conference.
And a very much improved ACC this season, and a lot of that on the backs of freshmen. Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Michael Brown. You're talking about DeRitter at Virginia. You're talking about 4 ranked ACC teams that are all led by freshmen. And so when you consider that, the incoming freshman class for this year for the ACC has absolutely benefited the depth of this conference.
Well, the big crowd here at the Smith Center, certainly in a holiday mood and about ready to celebrate a victory against an ACC rival. North Carolina trying to go to 65-8 all time in home openers in the ACC. 46 seconds away from doing that, and a foul right around midcourt. Our ACC Huddle crew has Miami covered tomorrow for the college football playoff quarterfinal matchup against Ohio State, beginning with the pregame show at 6 Eastern from North Texas, and during the game, a field pass presentation with the crew on the sidelines and a complete breakdown of the postgame with the coach and player interviews, all coming your way after the college football playoff quarterfinals, and Miami taking on Ohio State.
Looking forward to that game tomorrow night to check that out. I still think that we got to go to 16 games.
Me too.
College football playoff. The numbers 1 through 4 seeds deserve to get a home game. And I think the home game environment in the college football playoff, that's been a tremendous addition. But I think the first 4 seeds should also have an opportunity to play a home game.
Totally agree. Trimble at the line. 46.7 to go. Hoping to ice this one for North Carolina. Trimble with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and a lot of gutsy plays.
Yes, and it's spent a lot of time in the stands on both ends of the floor. Is going to need ice after this game. No longer the young guy. He's the vet on this team now.
Got the dunk in there. McCray moving to the left hand with a miss. And rebounded away by North Carolina. Caleb Wilson, 22 and 16 rebounds and 6 assists. No question he was the #1 star for North Carolina. And Bessar got all 12 of his points in the second half. He had a double-double as well. 12 points, 12 rebounds.
A solid performance for the Tar Heels. Hubert Davis made it very clear to us he feels like this team can be better. But I believe winning game 1 in ACC action has really given them that opportunity to see what they can do as the season goes along.
Trimble getting to 20. Florida State getting a 3-pointer in the air as Wiggins will knock that down. And that will do it. The final score here tonight. North Carolina 79 and Florida State 66.
Strong performance by the Tar Heels, opening up ACC action. A good fight by Florida State. Did not make enough threes to win this one, but I love what Luke Louts is doing in their program.
Caleb Wilson, another star turn. The freshman has just been spectacular. There's your final score, 79-66. North Carolina winning their ACC opener as we go now to Notre Dame and Stanford. Roxy Bernstein and Sean Farnham coming your way as we say Happy New Year.